to evade this, tak pass pun dia ambil juga course ni. Dia ingat dia boleh lepas. Wrong move lah. We will eventually find out. Okay. So you haven't passed your activity, you didn't pass your discrete mathematics, no need to join this class. You pass these two first. Okay. I'm your lecturer for this course. Alright. We are all online. So for now, if you got anything, email me at this email address. Try not to email me using English, yeah? Because English, sometimes when I reply, the replies get rejected and there's no notification sent to me. So email me good questions. This is my phone number, office phone number. This is my physical room. Okay, but you guys are mostly at home, right? For consultation, email me for appointment 2 or 3 days before you want to meet, yeah? Not on the day itself. So your group is group 5. Okay, your lab is Tuesday or night time. Your lab 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Very late. You guys okay? Can join, Alright. My class is interactive. I just don't talk in the lecture and then you guys keep quiet. This for the other group, never mind. So this subject is about data structure lah. You actually have to learn data structure already. You know struct. Struct is a type of data structure lah. Basically, it's an arrangement of data inside the computer memory. Okay, struct is just one way. Array is just one way. There is linked list. Okay, there's a binary tree, but that one we'll look at it later. So data structure is looking at arrangement of data in the computer's memory. Algorithm is about processing the data. Okay, the data. Algorithm is basically the workhorse of the data is the content. So we're going to look, last semester you use C programming language. Now we're going to use C++, developed by this person, Jan Stossap. Alright, it's an evolution of C. C is an evolution of B. B is a formal method, meaning it's written in a mathematical language. Then you have pseudo English language is C, but Jan Stossap further into C++. C++ is just like Java lah, it's object oriented. Okay, so basically when you design the code last semester we didn't learn how you identify an object. Okay, what is an option? Okay, so basically an object is something that's a noun. A student is an object, a class is an object. Okay, a verb such as adding a student, all right, that is a operation. Okay, so this semester you're going to look what is the data. And then you're going to look at what's the operation inside the data. Together they form your data structure lah. Okay. Alright, so this is the history of C++. Okay, so you can go through by yourself. Now the assessment of this course, all are online. One individual assignment, 50%. Midterm examination, 20%. One group project, 20%. 2 quizzes. One quiz is 2.5%. Please make sure you don't miss the quiz. Alright, and always make sure that you submit the quiz before time ends. And then finally, the final examination, total is 100%. This is the learning objective. So basically, you're looking at how you develop program. But this semester, you're going to look at using data structure. You're going to look at classes. So if you talk about classes, what is classes? Classes, you have to be strong in function. The concept of ITP, you will bring forward this semester. The main subject, the main thing that you're going to bring forward is the function, array, and struct, and operation, part operation as well. Because you got to use the dot member. Remember last semester you got to use the dot member every day. Alright, but mostly it's function. Any questions so far?
No
Okay,
questions so far.
Okay, alright, good. Alright, so please check your read. So main textbooks, these are the textbook that we'll be using. The main one is the data structure by C++ by US Malik. Okay, easiest to understand. You can get the online version. This one is a little bit complex. If you can download it, you want extra source of knowledge, then you can download this one as well. This one is just an example mostly. The IDE or the development environment that you're going to use is Bloodshed, that's C++. You already use it in ITP last semester. Okay, same thing. How you create a file is the same, but last semester when ITP you use C, right? C project, right? This semester you use C++ project. There's a big difference. Other two all same. Alright? Alright, just make sure you copy these regulations. Attendance, please make sure more than 80%, yeah? Alright? So now, the issue now is those of you who cannot join the class. So some of you here have not registered for the class, but you already attend the class. Please make sure, okay, that when you attend your new class later on, if you decide to change the group, you tell your lecturer that I think you would have joined my class before this, right? So to make sure your attendance is 80%. Okay. If your attendance is missing, please remind me, please inform me the week after, not 2 or 3 weeks or the end of the semester, and say, oh, I actually come for this class, but my attendance is 70%. Why did you bar me? Okay, that one I tak boleh pakai lah. I'm going to bar you to less than 80%, okay? Alright, any questions so far?
No.
Any question, alright.
No questions so far.
Alright, good. Oh, this has to remind me. Sorry. So the lecture notes are all standardized, alright, with other groups. So you're going to look at software engineering principle and C++ classes. Okay? Okay, the consideration is of course more towards the programming part, which is C++ classes. Alright? But we're going to also look at the software engineering principle, which is the development lifecycle in the software engineering, and what is UML notation. Right? But UML notation, we don't want to go in depth. So you really have to study that one by yourself. How to think UML diagram, yeah? So we're going to look at the software engineering principles. What is an algorithm? What is a structured design and object-oriented design? We're going to learn about classes. This one is basically use a lot of function. What is a private, protected, and public members of a class? Okay, you haven't learned private, protected, and public yet, but you have learned what is a member. Member belongs in which topic last semester in ITP? Member function, remember? Kevin, Wong. What topic? Yes. What member?
I'm sorry, sir, I forget.
Okay, forget. Stop. Structure. It's structure, right? Stop. So remember, key topics you got to master for this course, right? To make your life, make your understanding easier. Function, array, graph, file operation. Okay? For function, sure what use on. Right? If you're not so good with function, please go back and read your lecture note all over again. Then we're going to look how you're going to implement the class. This one, okay. Now, when you learn about this course, it's a little bit complicated way. Not complicated lah. You have to, your mindset needs to change. We're not looking at this implementation, we're going to look at the design. We're going to look at it together. Right? Last semester, you just need the implementation, the coding in it. This semester is about design as well. How you design the data structure. So basically, there's the theoretical, what you write on paper, it's related to what you code. Okay? You're just not looking at this coding purely. This is the design lah, UML notation. Right? But we're not going to cover in depth. You're going to learn this one later on in your some subject, I think SPE. Right? Then we got constructor and destructor. So what is a constructor? Basically, constructor is like a default value, initial value. Alright? And destructor destroys, alright, that value. That's why, this data structure, when you have class, right, you can create an instance of that class. An instance is basically an object at that moment now. Okay. So after you have done the operations, you don't want to put that object inside the whatever value of that object inside the memory anymore. You have to delete all of it. Because otherwise your memory, right, will become full. So you got to destroy it. That's the use of Constructor. This one set the initial value. This one destroys whatever value that is inside the memory. I don't know why. Okay. This one is another logical part. ADT, abstract data type. What is abstract data type? Abstract data type is like a blueprint for you to put your flow. For example, when you say create accounts, right? What are the main? What is the function that must always be there? You create accounts, right? Like my class, data structure class. What function? What operation must be there? You always need to think. What operation must be there? Izian Alish. Try to think. You nak buat kelas kan? Apa katakan you duduk pergi ke kelas lah, you cikgu dekat depan kan? Apa operation? Apa benda operation yang you mesti buat? Cuba fikir sebentar. Ini soalan general, ini tak spesifik. Tak masuk pun dalam kita punya lecture. This is just your logical thinking. I want to relay it to your lectures lah. Kalau Aiman cakap dia nanti memang you tak faham. You cikgu dekat depan dalam kelas kan, you imagine lah, okay, murid ni dah nampak dekat luar tu, dia dah nampak murid tu dekat luar. Apa operation tu, right, you imagine operation nak masukkan murid dalam kelas tu. Budak-budak dekat luar, you cikgu dekat dalam bilik belajar. So apa operation dia? Tak dengar Izian? Buka mic. Tak dengar lah Izian. Yeah, sorry Izian, I got to skip you, tak dengar. Dayang Nadira, sorry Izian, tak dengar. Semua buka mic, saja. No, my connection, tapi because I can hear Kevin just now.
Hello sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Operation.
Register?
Register or add student to the class lah. Betul tak? Add student to class. Okay, good. Rawang Chong. Why? Rawang Chong, where are you from? Your name is unique.
I'm from Sarawak.
Oh, you're from Sarawak. Okay, are you mixed?
No.
No, okay. Alright, Rawang. So your friend said, add student to the class. See, this one add student is common, correct? When you create class, you buat sekolah, tu sekolah menengah tu, you speak common, correct? That is ADT. That's a map. No, kasih instance tadi kan, cikgu kan, nak add student dalam bilik belajar kan. You see, this concept, this is what we call abstract data type. It is abstract because it's not direct to the implementation. Faham tak? If you add something to the class, right? You add your students to the class lah. Tapi saya implement kat sekolah rendah ke sekolah menengah ke universiti, sama juga konsep dia. So, selain add student to the class, what else can you do? Imagine, okay, as I said to Islam, tadi, you imagine, you cikgu dalam bilik ajar, okay, you nak create a class, okay, you dah create a class, okay, murid-murid dekat luar bilik belajar. So, macam mana you nak bawa dia masuk? Operation, register class. Operation, function, it does something. Okay, apa lagi you akan buat? Selain Ngawang, sorry Ngawang, thanks Ngawang. Michelle, apa lagi you buat selain you boleh add student to the class? Veronica, get ready. Please, I'm going to ask you. Michelle? You there, Michelle? Michelle tak dengar lah dekat. Kalau ni dapat add student, mesti dapat apa? Guna logik lah. Come on guys, CS. Logic must be strong. Michelle, when you add, you must be, what is the opposite of add? Michelle, opposite of add is what? Tak dengar tak? Oh, I tak dapat dengar lah your mic, Michelle. Veronica, opposite of add? You cannot say, okay.
Remove.
Remove. If in rotation to add student to data, you should remove, betul tak? Pandai. Next, Kevin. Apa lagi? Add, remove. Lagi?
Delete. Sir,
I dengar. Yes. Kevin.
delete.
Delete sama lah dengan remove, mana boleh.
Oh, okay.
Add, remove, delete sama. Remove dengan delete sama.
Copy.
Copy boleh lah. Copy kan? Boleh. Copy pun boleh lah. Dia nak copy data student. Alright. Daniel, apa lagi Daniel? Add, remove. This one is just to test your logical thinking, you know. Your logical thinking actually sebagai computer science student, that one is the core. Because you implement dalam C++ ke Java, doesn't matter, right? Ini apa lagi? Dan Islam, get ready ya. Get that out here. Add, remove, copy, list, senaraikan pelajar-pelajar di dalam kelas saya. Itu tahu. Apa lagi? Search, cari seorang pelajar di dalam kelas. You buat sistem untuk sekolah rendah ke sekolah menengah ke UCP, sama je konsep dia. You buat efficient class dia, itu sama juga konsep dia. So benda ni kita panggil sebagai ADT, abstract data type. Because this common concept, right, this common add, remove, delete, search kan, okay, dia tak kisah implementation. A lot of students at the end of this course still don't understand what is ADT. In fact, it being the first lecture. ADT is a map, a route map in text form. Alright, C++, Java is implementation language. What I have told you just now, add, remove, delete, student node, and list, search, copy, you can implement it in C++, Java, or whatever. As long as object-oriented language. Okay? That here, what is ADT? Ada sikit, as long as faham sikit lah. Okay? Dia macam guideline or map. Okay? Then how you, okay, this one is easy lah. How classes are used to implement ADT. Basically, the operation is implemented as operation in function. What is the software life cycle? Alright, so life cycle basically ada three fundamental stages: development, use, and maintenance. Development you guna maintenance. Apa maintenance? It's about as a maintenance. Add functionality, it's a maintenance. Alright. Now, konsep yang orang konsep, okay, yang orang tak nampak editing not concept lah, another question. When do you stop maintaining a program or a system? When it gets too expensive to maintain. Maintenance, this software maintenance is more expensive than cost of developing the software. Right? Because it's harder. Okay? And when no new version lah, ini orang tak minat lah yung software tu lagi, system tu lagi. So, okay, so generally, three fundamental stages, but the correct steps, alright, the definite steps in software development life cycle is analysis, design, implementation, testing, and debugging. Analysis is basically to understand the requirements of the program. The requirements of the system. Right? You understand the problem, you make sure that the requirements solve the problem. Right? It is also whereby you structure the problem and then you divide it into more sub-problems using techniques such as divide and conquer. Okay. And then there's the design phase. What we have covered last semester is algorithm. Alright? Step by step solve problem process done in an infinite time. Algorithm got how many types? 2 types. Which are pseudocode. Alright? But this semester you're going to learn object-oriented design. It's also structured design, but we're not going to cover structured design. Structured design is basically you really learn in last semester lah. Making big problems, smaller sub problems. Alright. And then you implement it. Okay. So what we're going to look at this method is this one here, object-oriented design. Now, object-oriented design is the core of C++ and Java. It's based on the concept of object and classes. Alright. What makes it different is it has the concept of encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Encapsulation, right? Basically, when you design your UML diagram, right, we have a part whereby you have a part of data, and then operation that acts on the data. That's encapsulation. Then you have the concept of inheritance. Inheritance means you create a derived data type. Alright? What do you mean by derived? You create something new from something that's already existing. Macam you are considered an inheritance from your parent now. A child inherits from the parent. Child tu new, right? Inherit from the parent. Alright? And then you have the concept of polymorphism. This is something new. Same expression, but perform different operation. Nama sama, tapi buat benda berlainan. Consider it as a twin lah. Kalau you ada twin kan, kembar kan. Sama je lupa. Tapi apakah yang membezakan the twin? Dia ni ciri-ciri dia. Yang membezakan polymorphism adalah ciri-ciri dia. Apa ciri-ciri dia? Sesuatu function, parameter dia. Nama sama, tapi parameter berbeza. Last semester you belajar semua function, nama semua lain-lain, betul tak? This semester you akan belajar function, ada 2-3 function, nama semua sama, tapi parameter dia berbeza. Okay? Okay. So implementation is basically where you write and implement the code. So this semester you have the concept of precondition and postcondition now. So precondition saying that before that that function is executed, alright, all the precondition must be true. Then you perform that whatever the function counting perform. Alright. Postcondition means that postcondition means the value of the function, alright, that is in Boolean, okay, is certified to be true, meaning it changes some state of the variable. Okay. And then you have the testing and debugging phase. So this one I'm not going to cover much because we presented it last semester. Basically, testing, you study program for its correctness. Alright, that's the program for correctness. Alright, then you fix the errors. But what you haven't really learned is black box testing and white box testing. Okay, so black box testing and white box testing is two different things. Alright, white box testing basically we look at the inside of the code. When you look at the inside of the code, basically you must know how the code works. So you know how the code works, simple, the developer. Okay, you look at inside the code. Alright. Now, black box setting, you don't look inside the code. Black box, you basically tengok input, you kasi the input, lepas tu you check dia punya output betul atau tidak. Siapa boleh test? Any software tester. Alright, you need to know the programming of the source code. You don't care because it's blocked out. Kita tahu pun apa code di dalam bahasa apa. You supply input, you tengok output betul tidak. Alright, you do not need to know the programming language, but white box you need to know the programming language. Alright, so the black box testing is for behavior testing, the behavior of the software. Alright, test can be functional or non-functional. Usually it's functional testing lah, alright. So you supply input data, you don't know how the program works, you just check output dia betul ke tidak. Is it what you want or not? White box testing is you know how the code is designed. Alright. So black box testing is you do when during integration, system and acceptance testing lah. Alright, so towards the end. White box testing is boleh buat unit and integration testing. So unit testing macam you dah buat sub-module A, you interact with sub-module B. And you see whether they can interact together or not. Because you need the knowledge of how the program is designed. Now, do you need to know how the program is being implemented for blackboard testing? You don't care. Just like the programming. Because you tak tahu program dah bentuk apa pun. For whiteboard testing, you must know. Because you look at the inside of the program. So, what are the test case? Test case ni apa you test data yang you guna untuk blackboard testing ni? The requirement specification. Okay, tetapi untuk white box testing, kita tengok dekat dalam data tu, kita ada detail design. Requirement specification adalah bentuk test. Ingat tak? Requirement specification. In order for you to create this system, you must be able to add a student. So, your test case adalah add one student, add n number of students. Check whether there is a duplicity of data of students or not. Okay. Any questions so far?
No. So
Okay.
far.
Next, we're going to look at visualization. Okay. So, keep on notation. Kita nak tengok complexity of the software that we design. How do you measure the complexity of the design? Okay. Kita kena tengok the number of rotation that we perform. Macam speed out kan? PF kita belajar. PF ada satu rotation ke tak? Something of the computer speed. Itu yang kita tengok sebagai algorithm analysis of the own rotation, the complexity of the code. Tapi complexity of the code adalah constant. Number of operation is constant. What is not constant is the speed of your PC. Because the one involves the processor, correct? Of course, your PC is slower than a supercomputer. But the complexity, the number of operations performed is the same. Because the printf is tetap printf on a supercomputer, it's still a printf on the PC, correct? So that nilai is constant. Okay? Constant as in the same lah. Whatever machine you learn, whatever machine you run it on, is the same. So when you compare, kita tengok pada time efficiency dengan space efficiency. Time masa is your computer memory punya space. So here is the analysis of a zero notation. There's two types. So this fellow here basically wants to be able to package different others. So the first way is send to A, send to B, C, D, and T. Betul tak? Katakan to travel from one point to another point is 1 mile. Alright? So 50 is 50 miles lah. 50 miles balik. Another method is pergi, hantar, dan balik ambil benda. Pergi, hantar, balik ambil benda. Pergi, hantar, balik ambil lagi. So total you spend 2550 miles compared to the first distribution. So this one is more time efficient. It's faster. Okay? So yang kita nak tengok is basically this one here. So this one here basically at the end of the day the function is 2n. Now we what 2n. Okay? But for the second method it is n2 plus n. Okay? But kita akan ambil n possible lah because this one is more dominant compared to n. We yield a more bigger value. Alright, so this one dominant term is just the n. For this one, the dominant term is n to the power of n. Because why n2 and not n? Because n2 would be the more dominant. You will feel the more result. This one is 2, this one is 4. This is 3, this is 9. This is the dominant one. So this is the time efficiency. Alright, so you see this one is n, this is the result for 2n, and the result for n2 plus n. So n2 plus n would give the biggest value compared to n. This one is more this is more efficient compared to this one. So now when we talk about time, right, time efficiency, the more time it requires, the more operation requires, the more time you need. Okay? Kita akan tengok ni kat dalam slide 21 later on. Okay? Now, ini yang saya cakap tadi. The speed of a computer can affect the execution time. Okay? However, the number of operations is the same on each computer. So, time here depends on the PC lah. But the number of operations is the same. Okay? But of course, the less number of operation means execution time is supposed to be faster. Alright? So kalau kita dekat see out is like a printf lah. You display something on the computer screen. See out, enter two numbers. Let's print something on the computer screen, that's one operation. This one, see in number 1 and number 2. It has two operations because you enter two numbers. Line 3, you compare two numbers, one operation. Line 4, you assign number 1 to next, one operation. Okay, so this one is else lah, alright? If this one is false, then line 6, you order one operation. Line 7, you get zero operation. Kenapa zero operation? You print out this one, 1. Print out this one, 2. Print out this one, 3. So in total, you're going to have 1 plus 2, either plus 1, this one or this one lah. Okay? So either one basically 1, 2, 1. Depends either one of these, so plus 1, and then plus 3 operation. So ini tak plus 2 because they if else. So it's either this one or this one. Okay? Any questions? Maria, are you okay, Maria? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, alright. Now it's confusing, Tetapi, you see, what if, macam ni, see? If else ni kan? Tapi if else ni, ini senang lah. Either this one or this one operation. This one, dia lain. Dia ada assign, dia ada divide. So, line dekat sini, dia ada dua operation. One, satu operation. Okay? So, here, the out, satu, dua. Dua, empat, lima operation. Okay? This one, forget the extra operator first. Satu, operation. Dua, empat, lima operation. Kenapa buat extra operator? Because when we look at the concept of while, it will keep on repeating this stuff, right? But there's an extra operation whereby if it performs, if it did not fulfill the second condition, it exceeds it, correct? Remember? Why? That one we unkill juga. So that is why it's one extra operator. So many blank pieces I'm worried now. You can understand that? Remember while you execute 5 times, katakanlah, you're supposed to execute 5 times. After these 5 times, right? At the 6th time you execute, it did not fulfill the condition anymore, correct? Then it exits the loop, remember? That the 6th time, that one is an extra operator. Okay? Yeah? Nawang, are you okay, Nawang?
Okay.
Okay, remember, where is the extra operator? Okay, no questions anymore? Any question? You still unsure, you go back to your one in your ITP and you see how many times you actually execute. Nampak 5. Katakan the condition is it is not less than 5. But actually it executes 6 times. Because to exit the loop, it must do the 6 times. Bila kali ke-6 tak fulfill the condition, it exit the loop. Nanti ni extra operator tu. When you have this one here, so here is 1 operator, 2 operator, 3 operator, 4 operator, 5 operator, 6 operator. If it is the condition, then it's tak masuk dah L. 7, 8, 9 operator. Nampak So if true, then yes, 9 operator. If false, 1 operator, 2 operator, sorry, atas, kita tengok atas tadi, sorry. 1, 2, 3, check sini kak, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Any question? Okay. Okay, so basically you can tambah sendiri lah. Alright, so basically you get the number of operators. So the function, basically, it's either 5n plus 15 or 5n plus 40. Jadi function ni I tak ajar lah, so you really learn in sekolah pengalaman from the video. Okay? How the function is not going to cover in this class. Okay? So this is not a mathematics class, it's programming class. So yang dominant ni apa? Kita akan selalu pada n. So 5n is the dominating term. Okay, so now we look at the time efficiency in accessing the computer memory. So here is basically num1 4 bytes, num2 4 bytes, sum is another 4 bytes. Then return the value of sum is 4 bytes. So this one is 60 bytes. So this one look at the computer memory. Alright. So this one is so basically if you calculate all together, it's 4n plus 16 bytes because the array size. Alright, so this one is definitely longer. Okay, the n factor that. So this one is how you will define the implementation of search algorithm. N is the list size whereby you prefer something. Fn is the count function. C is the computer time to execute one operation. This one is not constant. This one depends on your computer speed. This is computer time to execute the operation. Alright. So Fn is this one is constant because why? Number of operation is the same. The one that is different is the computer time. Alright. When that plotted, so this is the function. This is the value. So you can see 2n will give the biggest value here compared to n. So here is the graph. Alright. So as the problem size increases, the complexity also increases. Okay. Okay, so I think for big O notation, so this one is basically really discussed. So basically this one, this is linear. This is the function for linear. Alright, this is the function for this is not linear. This is linear. Alright, so this one will be using the most result compared to n or n power of 2. Alright, so when you hello? Right. So you can actually see from the graph of our answer. And of course we use the least result. Okay, n compared to n to the power of 2. Alright. So you can go through this bigger notation table here for the summary. Okay. So it's basically big orientation is we just want to make you aware of what is big orientation actually. Basically, is to measure complexity because there's two terms, time and space. Alright. When you talk about time and space, we're going to look at the complexity of n to the power of 2 and 2n. Of course, 2n will be the most complex, and 2 is the second one, and this one is the most least complex. Alright. So how you compute the complexity, you count the number of operations. That is constant, regardless of the speed of the computer. So this table is the summary, alright, for big orientation. So you have the constant complexity, quadratic complexity, and linear complexity. Alright, so you can go through by yourself, yeah? So now we're going to go to C++ classes. Alright, so for big orientation, it's for you to be aware of it. Okay, for now. Now this one is what you're going to implement, C++ classes. Because classes is just like your function, in a way. Alright, so how do you identify a class object? So now we're going to, when you talk about class, we're talking about object as well. Alright, a noun is an object, a verb is an operation. Operation that is performed on the data. Okay? So first of all, in identifying classes is to identify the objects first. Alright? Now the concept of data structure is now the concept of encapsulation, whereby you combine the data and operation in a single unit. Then we just jump to next slide. This one. This is encapsulation. Think about the data. This is the data. This is the operation performed on the data. This is a UML diagram. Nampak tak? All this operation manipulate the data inside there. This is for the object clock. Okay, clock time. Okay, when clock, what are the data of the clock? Hours, minutes, and seconds. What can you do with the clock? You can set the time of the clock. You can get the value of the clock. You can implement the hours. You can implement the minutes. You can implement the seconds. Then you can see, are the two clocks the same or not? So these are the operations that can be performed on the data. Alright? So this whole concept is what we call as encapsulation. So when you design your coding, right, you're going to look at the data and you're going to look at the operation that's performed on the data. Alright? Alright. Now, a class is a collection of a fixed number of components. So you can have the data, you can have the operation. Alright? Apa class? What's inside a class member? What are the components of the class? Now, the class members are divided into three types of them. Public, private, and protected. Public, everyone can access. Private means the operation, basically it can be accessed within the class only. And protected. Protected is like private. Okay, sorry. Protected is like private. Okay, it's like private. Okay. But the only person that can access a protected is a member, alright, from the same derived classes. Okay. But protected, never mind. We're going to look at it later on. Right now, you concentrate on private and public first. Later on, the classes may, okay, so when the inheritance, right, you can have the parent, you can have the child. If you declare data as protected inside the parent, that means the child can access the data inside the parent. But outside the class, it cannot be accessed. And that is protected. Okay? Or not to digest now. So basically, I summarize it for you for now. A class ni, when you identify a class, first of all, you need to identify the object. To identify your object, it's a noun. The operations that perform on the object, okay, it's a verb. To identify using a verb. For example, adding. Adding is an operation. Added is an object. Okay? Now, bila kita tengok class ni, kita akan tengok component dia, component ada data and the operation. Alright, this process is called as encapsulation. Okay, so this is basically the explanation of for private, public, and protected. So by default, it is all private now. So by default, it's all private. Meaning can be accessed within the class only. Class member only can access the data. Public, everyone can access. Protected cannot be accessed by except by functions. Cannot be accessed except by functions. Okay, functions within the class or by derived classes. Macam child is derived from the parent. The child can access a protected member. Alright. In C++, private, public, and protected is a reserved word. Macam you punya SPECF and PF lah, these are all reserved word. Alright? For example of a class, kita akan tengok a class of a clock. Alright? So a clock. A clock type, apa data dia? Kita nak identify a class, objek ini adalah clock. So apa data dalam clock? Hours, minute, and second. Right? Then the data. Apa operation that you can perform on the hours, minute, and second? You can use it to set the time for the clock. You can use it to determine the current time of the clock. You can use it to pin the time of the clock. Increment the hour, increment the minute, increment the second. So, a class, is it? So, macam human, a class. Instead of human, apa? Male and female, betul tak? Instead lah, alright? Macam clock ni, saya tengok class, the clock type, alright? Instead dia, you can use to compare two clocks, whether it's equal or not. Alright? So here is a class of clock, right? Public. Apa dekat sini? So you see this public, and then you see the private. Private means this one here, no one outside this class can access. Okay? But only members within this class. So that means that time boleh access hours, minute, second. That time can access hours, minute, and second. Understand? But can a function outside another class access that time, print time, and get time? Can or not? Veronica. Your name is Veronica or Veronica?
Veronica.
Oh, sorry, we have Veronica. Okay, Veronica. Can members outside this class access that time?
I think yes.
Yes. Oh,
Because
set sebagai public product.
yeah. It's
Not declared public, correct? Okay, sebagai public, therefore you get access. Jadi, ini apa ni? Apa beza yang ini dengan ini? Selain ini public, selain ini private kan? What is the difference between this one and this one? Maybe Indonesia lah, Kevin. Kevin, yes, you lah, Kevin Wong.
Oh,
Indonesia, Kevin. What's the difference, Kevin? This one and this one.
satu pakai store, satu pakai
Okay, so this one, besides the private and public, what's the difference between this one here, this here, and all the functions? This one is variable, this one is
function.
function. Because function it will perform operation on this data. So kalau you tengok concept encapsulation ni, nampak tak relation yang ini? Kita ni. Ini data dia, ini operation dia. Boleh terbalik lah. Ini data dia, ini operation. But semua ni adalah kelas ini. Nampak tak? Ini design dia. So semester ni susah sikit. Data structure ni, bila implement from this design, implement kepada code ini. Suppose dulu semester lepas, just implement code ni je. You tak tengok pun design tu, I tahu memang you design flowchart tu kan, tapi I think you guys just agak-agak saja, you tak follow directly kan. This mesti can follow directly. Okay. Kevin, are you Malaysian, Kevin? You Malaysian?
Malaysian. Saya Sarawak.
Sarawak di mana?
Sibu.
Ibu. I thought you Korean. I think like Korean still.
Okay, situ.
Ada sikit lah, lupa. Ada Korean Japanese. Ingatkan international student tadi. Any international students here, by the way? Because I speak Malay interchangeably, I'm sorry. No international students. If you're international student, you tell me. Otherwise, sometimes I just speak Malay unintentionally. Okay? Alright, so Kevin, you guys understand what's different this semester? These data structures is it's really harder actually. So now your mind, when you code, you follow your design. What's your design? The concept of data and notation. You must always be straight. You know, like you follow your chart. Last semester, I know I saw your content stuff your chart that you code in the design, but it still work, correct? This semester is not like that anymore. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, okay. Thank you, Kevin. Alright, so public here means we access three data members, which is private, and they access by the members within the class, which is clear lah. But outside the class, we cannot access. Alright? Alright. So general rule, any members that needs to be accessed by outside the class, we declare it as public. Alright? Any members that you cannot be directly accessed, we put as private. Why people commit to the class? Naim, why you late for the class, Naim? You can stop the class already. Alright? Okay. So why we separate the data? Why you separate? Why you make it private and public? Because you want some data, right? You don't want to make a mistake whereby you modify unintentionally. You just use a sign variable. You want to say, okay, a data can be accessed by a function. Because a function is like an engine, right? Alright, so that's why you need private and public. You want to separate the data and the operation. Okay? So the private can be accessed indirectly by the function, the private part. Alright? So, okay, when you want to declare public, private, dia tak ada order. This one, they put private kat bawah, public kat atas. Dia nak terbalik ni, tak apa, doesn't matter. Okay? But as long as public needs and you access private needs, only the class member can access. Now, by default, all members of a class are declared as private. If you don't put the name as private, compiler will put it as private for you. Okay? To make it public, you put it as public. So, member functions are members of a class. Okay? Member functions can manipulate data members of that class. Sometimes member functions are called methods. What is a member function? This member function. All the members within the class. Alright? So how do you access? Now your question is, if I have an object, Ini kelas clock type. Katakanlah saya ada kelas Apple Watch. Or saya ada kelas kelas dia adalah clock type. Katakan saya ada object instance Apple Watch, Samsung Watch, Huawei Watch. Betul tak? Dia instance of this class. Okay, ingat tak? Last semester you belajar structure, betul? Structure adalah class. Structure variable adalah instance of the class. It's similar. Konsep dia lain lah. Satu struct, satu class. Tapi konsep dia sama. So structured variable, the instance dia adalah object. Instead of the object. So if you have Samsung class, you have you have Samsung watch, object Huawei watch or whatever watch, okay? Then the instance of this class. Alright? So if instance of that class, Samsung watch, Huawei watch or Apple watch nak access function ni, macam mana dia nak access? Ini soalan pertama ni. Dia nak gunakan. Dia nak guna function ni nak. Dia nak manipulate hour, minutes, second. So, macam mana dia nak access manual ni? Lepas tu you perasan tak? Void set time, void get time ni, mana implementation dia? Ini macam function prototype ke tak? Ini function prototype. Macam mana dia nak implement dia? Kita belum masuk lagi. Okay, so these are the two questions that you need to ask yourself now. How do I implement this? How do I write the implementation? And after I write the implementation, how I want to access it? Betul tak? Alright, so I'm not going to discuss this one because just now I already discussed this. I really need the coding tools, right? Yeah. So this is the data, this is the operation that can perform the data. How do you identify an object? A noun is an object, a verb is an operation. Okay? Okay. So I think I'm going to skip this part here. I'll come back to it later. I just want to go to the accessing of the member. So you access, and now it's not in the Huawei watch just now. You have to access the member, right? This function. Okay? So can use dot class object name dot member name. Okay? To implement this class, this method or this function, member function, rectangular code resolution operator. You see by dot here. So you see, set time ni kan. This one. Okay. Now it's clock right. So bila you nak implement dia, and tetap this function returns nothing at the end. Clock type, nama class dia, resolution operator, part dot, and the member function. This is the implementation. This is the accessing. Okay? I nak bagi you awal-awal supaya you tak get lost in the slide. Okay? So you have to register this concept inside your brain with me now. Okay? After this, I'm going to come back to it again. Huh? Okay, so tadi I berhenti kat sini. Now, what is a constructor? Constructor basically is the initial value of the object. Alright? So, for a class, right? Constructor ni, nama dia adalah sama dengan nama kelas. Katakan nama kelas tu adalah clock type kan. So dekat sini, nama kelas ni clock type, nama function tu akan jadi clock type. They initialize the value of this is the constructor. Apa yang kita perasan dekat sini? It is function here. Something else. Last semester, belajar satu function, satu nama, betul? Apa yang diperasan dekat dalam Actually, go and never call himself. What do you notice? What you started? Okay. With this function here. Ada satu function ni pelik sikit.
Could you repeat that? I cannot. It's not
Alright.
clear.
Okay, you look at this function, right? So this top part here. Now, okay, here it's not here lah. Sorry, here. So here is basically the operations, right? Like here. This one is not a complete reflection of this one here. This one is more accurate lah. Alright, so you have a function or a constructor. A constructor basically gives a default value of the object. The name of the constructor is the same name with the name of the class. If you can add the function number default type. Now there is something you see all of these the operation is performed on this data, right? One function is very weird. Which is what?
The same. Is it the clock type?
Correct. Yes, correct. The clock type. It's two functions with the same name. It's allowed in C++. Alright? But then, you cannot, if you have everything the same, tak boleh juga. Then the compiler doesn't know which one to execute, correct? So, the parameter is different. Is it the same? But the parameter is different. So, when you make a function call, depending, if there is no parameter, it will go to clock type. If there's three parameter of type, it just execute this one here. Both of these is the type constructor. Your coding, your code, okay, can have more than one constructor. Tetapi, you can only have one destructor. You can have the multiple constructor, but only one destructor. Okay? So this, both of this is the constructor. Which one how does the compiler know which one to execute? It cannot be identically the same. The parameter must be different. If the function call no parameter, it executes this one. If the function call got three parameter, it executes this one. Okay? Okay, so basically a constructor is initialized automatically when the class object enter the scope. Maknanya bila dia masuk scope ni lah, dia masuk scope class ni kan, dia automatically executed. Cakap lah, for-wheel is a clock type. So for-wheel watch is a clock type. Bila for-wheel watch ni, cakap dia clock type kan, cause ni, terus dia akan masuk daripada dengan constructor. Kalau ada. Okay? Alright. So, the constructor ni sama, name ni sama dengan class name, type. All class constructor have the same name. But what is different is the parameter. Alright. So if you have multiple constructor, you have different formal parameters. Alright. When you execute it, whenever enters the object scope, it automatically executes. Execution depends on the parameter passed by the object. So, class name, class object name. Okay, you see? So which one you can execute? Depends on no parameter, this one. Else, you execute this one. But this one is the default one. Alright? So how you access class member is the dot. So while we watch, right, class object name, you can access dot at time. Okay? So let's have a look at the code. Is it? Other clock, other types of clock. Okay, other types of clock. Do the access member hour. Okay, access member hour. So dot. Okay. Let's another example lain. Okay, move on here. Alright, never mind. Okay. So to access a member, use a dot operator. Okay. Now scope resolution operator. Okay, now you have to realize the function. Okay, the operation. So how do you use it? Okay, so any function set time that is here. It's that time. The name of the class is top type. So it is void top type first, name of the class, or dot, the name of the function, set time, then the parameter list. Okay, you want to manipulate the hours, minutes, and second data. And here is when we assign the value of hour, minute, and second. Any questions? Alright. So here you see, the object here. Jadi dia cakap, okay, my clock. Ini objek new lah, clock. Samsung watch. Okay. Dot, access, set time. Access is function set time. Kasih tiga parameter, which is 48.52. Okay, so 48.52. So, if is more than 0, then the 24, so the hours in this is for my clock. You can set kepada 0 for the hour, 48, itu for the second. Ini dia ada dua. Satu my clock, satu lagi your clock. Sini Apple Watch, sini Samsung Watch. Tapi dua-duanya adalah watch. Betul? Alright, so Apple Watch is dapat this value, Samsung Watch is got this value. Alright? But the charge is the same lah, clock lah. Alright? Now, here, see if you nak compare my clock, okay, you want to see, you want to access the function equal time. So you have to see whether my clock ni dengan your clock ni, is it the same or not? You have to use the function equal time. This one here. This function equal time. Alright? So, my clock ni access the function equal time. Equal time ni, we pass the parameter your clock. This object clock. Your clock. So, equal time ni, the plus clock ni adalah your clock. Okay? Now, constant dekat sini, apa maksud constant? Ini you cannot change the value. Alright, so maknanya dalam ni, you cannot change the value. So sini kita ada change, kita tak, dia return. Now, this function here, you can type here adalah bentuk boolean. Okay, what is boolean? 1 or 0, true or false. Okay, dia akan check clock type ni, hour dia, minute dia, second dia, adakah dia akan compare dengan other clock dia, hour, minute, and second, sama atau tidak. If tidak sama, return false. If sama, return true. Okay. A lot of programming in one class. You understand? Any questions? No question, I got question for you.
Need to digest.
Okay, I understand. That's why I say, dia banyak guna function ni topik. Okay? Kita digest dulu. You tengok dekat sini. Boolean is the return value of the function. That's why I say function is very important in this subject. This is the function. Alright? The implementation of the function equal time. Now, last time when you do your function implementation, okay, we just use equal time. Itu tak nama function tu. This semester tak ada. This is class. So, nama class datang dulu. Dot, scope resolution operator, only then the meaning of the function. Okay. Ada clock ni, yang ni dalam ni, constant ni, maknanya dia tak boleh tukar. This function cannot change the value. Doesn't change. This one is just to find out if things are the same or not. Same, I return true, not same, I return false. Okay? So, dia punya function adalah you akan receive another object. Macam mana kita receive another object? You tengok dekat UML design here. Equal time, you set another instant, the object. Or another object of the class of type. Okay? Okay or not? Anyone? Can digest ready? Any questions? Okay, no questions. I got a question for you. With no recall. Is this called by reference or called by value?
Sorry, can you repeat your question, sir?
Is this called by value or called by reference?
Called by reference?
Hey, you guys tricky satu semester you forget everything already. Come on. Call by value or call by reference? Okay, never mind, by the way, I call you a lot already. Change lah. Faris Jamhari. Everyone, I'm going to call you guys again. Call by value or call by reference? Remember got little function of class? This one. This thing, you tengok dekat sini kan. Is it call by value ke call by reference?
I think it is wait.
You tengok kod ni. Dia parameter kan. Dia pass apa? Dia plus ada top ni. Betul tak?
Yeah,
Okay. So is it call by value ke call by reference?
reference.
Reference. Kenapa?
It, how do you say that?
No such thing as how do you say that? The answer is inside there in the slide. How do you, the statement written there. Tengok je betul.
What?
The answer is there. Call by reference. Call by reference, you pass what? So what do you pass to identify is a call by reference? You pass what?
Dia access daripada tu balik.
Mana tak ada. Boleh kita jawapan. Okay, betul lah. Come on. Okay, never mind. Faris, good try. Never mind. Good try. Dayang, are you there, Dayang?
Yes, sir.
Dayang, call by reference. What means, apa membezakan call by reference and call by value? Nasib baik online class. Kalau physical class, saya suruh diri buat push up. Come on, call by reference. You pass the original data. How do you pass the original data? You pass the address. Pass the address macam you kasih I address. I tahu you tinggal dekat mana kan? I boleh cari you. Sama lah. So call by reference mesti ada address. Address simbol dia apa? Dayang. Address simbol dia apa? Address simbol dia apa? Walau memang cuti habis. Semua dia orang lupa lah. Oh my god. You guys buka balik aktiviti ni lecture note Dayang, address. Address ni apa? Simbol apa? N. Ini nampak tak ini apa? Ini N. Maka ini adalah call by reference. Lepas the original data. Okay. Ada kata tak ada end. Jadi call by apa? Sayang, tak ada end jadi call by apa? Value. Sayang, tak ada end jadi call by value lah. Lepas the copy data. Buka balik note on function lah. Yes. Tak apalah. Mandi dulu, understand. Okay. Alright. Alright. So basically it checks lah whether these two values are the same or not. They different. If the hours of this clock type it's not the same as hour in other clock. Nampak tak? Other clock dot hour. Maknanya other clock ni dia access dia punya hour. Ini punya hour adalah daripada clock type ni, which is my clock ni. Because my clock ni dia panggil your clock. Okay, equal time ni plus equal time ni, okay, your clock ni adalah other clock. So your clock hour, your clock minutes, your clock second. Okay, hour minute second ni, okay, hour minute second ni adalah daripada my clock. Kita compare this dulu. Okay, so ada clock nak access hour ni dia guna dot. Okay, it semua sama, only then dia akan return just the return. Alright, so basically I already explained after this the explanation of it. So I'm going to skip that already. So this one, if you still cannot understand, you read lah the note. Alright, so this one already, I already asked you what is called by value, what is called by reference. Alright, so call by reference ada address. Ini ada address. Tak ada address, dia akan jadi macam ini, no address. Dia tak ada address, dia jadi call by value. Bila dia jadi call by value, dia pas original data ke copy data? Dayang. Oh, dayang lagi lah.
Yes, sir.
So call by value, dia akan pass original ke copy data?
Original.
Dayang. Call by value pass copy.
Copy, sir.
Saya kata copy call by value, copy data, call by reference, original data. Okay, tapi tak apa. You guys yang masih tak sure, tolong in your ITP lecture note, chapter 5 here. Next class you mesti already understand ya. Because banyak akan guna function to this data structure. Tengok juga static variable. Alright, what is the static definition? Semua tu kena tengok balik. Okay, so ini pun saya dah explain tadi. Okay. So if pass by call by value, can change the value without affecting the original object. Meaning copy data lah. They change its original value, that is called by reference lah. Alright. Bila you ada constant dekat sini, alright, you cannot change the value within the function. So here, bila we declare ni constant, ini bukannya change, ini bukan assignment operator, ini adalah comparison operator. So nothing is changed here. And when you design it as constant, you basically telling the compiler, dalam apa-apa keadaan, in any circumstances, you cannot change the hour, minute, and second. Right? You're not changing, right? You're just comparing. Then you change if you use just like that. Later confirm cannot use. Because why you are changing the value of hour when the program has specified is a constant. Alright? This one is a constant, this one is also constant. Meaning the implementation of this one is constant. When you get the hour, minute per second, also you cannot change it because you dah cakap in constant value. You're not changing anything. Okay? Can I just or not? Okay. Can I? Got your back. Okay. Now, sama macam you punya function, when you have this assignment later, basically you're going to cover your clock to all the value of hours, minutes, second, and your clock tukar kepada, akan assign kepada my clock. This is called as member-wise copy. Okay. Now, class scope. Kita belajar last semester dalam function, sama juga. Automatic. Okay. It's created when it reaches the declaration. Destroyed when it exits the declaration. When you call for the function, the variable leaves. Remember? When you exit the function, the variable dies. Sama konsep dia. Tetapi, sama macam function static. When you reach the declaration, it exists. When you exit the declaration, right? Is it destroyed? No. It is destroyed when the program terminates. This one is when the code exits. When you leave the function. This one, you leave the function, you think, by the value still remains. It will only be destroyed when the program terminates. This last semester, banyak student salah. Your question bila dia, question tu tanya something like this lah. When is it destroyed? Lepas tu dia kasih jawapan dia, when the exit control exits and the program terminates. Two different things, not the same thing. Okay? Ini program tu terminate. Ini just the function terminate. That's the difference. Okay? Alright. So you want to access member of class, tapi it has to be declared public lah. Use the same dot operator. Alright? Okay, so this one is a recap of your function. The rules are all the same. Class object passed as parameter to functions are written as function values. Class object passed either by value or reference as parameter. Ini tadi kita tengok dah. This one here. Object are passed as parameter. Okay. Alright, and then class objects can be passed by the value using the instance of the variable also. So you can pass either call by value, call by reference, but it's going to pass it to the parameter. You can ada power wash kan, you nak pass ni, kan nak pass ni, kena pakai parameter je. Sama macam you learn inside your function lecture time. Okay, this one you haven't learned lah. Constructor you have learned now. So you can have a constructor basically gives you a default value. Alright. So you can have a default parameter or you can have no parameter. Never mind. Can also. Alright. Default constructor, if you write one class, you can have multiple constructor, but the default constructor has no parameter. Alright. But you can have multiple constructors. And each constructor has to be different with one another in terms of their parameter. Now, your class can only have one destructor. Alright? The name of a destructor is the same name of the class. So it's like a constructor, but in front of the constructor name, you have a style character. This is what makes constructor and destructor different. The destructor has a style symbol in front of it. Okay? So a type of class that you already learned is that last semester is struct class. It is something similar like class. So you go back to your structure punya lecture note, you see dia punya similarities. Kan ada kan? You access the member guna dot. Member tapi dia tak ada constructor, dia tak ada destructor je lah. Alright? Okay. That's all for the programming part. Next, we're going to look at abstract data part. So, when you talk about abstract data part, it's separating the design from the implementation. Alright? We're going to separate the logical part from the implementation part. Implementation is in C++, Java, itu implementation. Yang tadi itu, yang macam add student to the class. That is the logical thinking. Alright? So this is how you take data part. Katakan for clock kan. Domain dia adalah aspects of the time of the day in the form of hours, minutes and seconds. Operation dia adalah you can set time, different time, it's all in textual form. It's like a map kan. This is why we call it a logical design. If you can implement this in Java, you can implement this in C++, doesn't matter. This one is quite abstract because it separates the logical from the implementation. Okay? We implement readability. Okay? Alright, so you write the algorithm to perform the operations. The C++ classes are designed to handle ADT. So if you have ADTs, C++ classes can implement this ADT. That's what I'm going to say. Alright? So, what's hard about from this ADT? What's hard about object-oriented design? How you identify classes and objects. Alright? So, nouns are classes. Alright? Verb is operation. Alright? So it's practice now. Alright? To identify the objects of the classes. Alright? So classes are basically higher level. Alright? You can have names a type of class. Alright? When you have people like Amir, Kevin, Daniel, these people are instance of the class or object of the class. Alright? When you add Daniel to the class, that is a verb, add. So it becomes an operation. Alright? What is the data structure of a person, of a man? You have a name, you have an age, date of birth. Itu semua dia data lah. Alright? So, the main takeaway that this time around we're going to learn about data abstraction. Alright? We separate the logical design from the implementation. Okay? And then when you design your code, you're not just thinking about the operation, you're thinking about the data and how the operation is performed on the data. Then you have the concept of constructor and destructor. Constructor basically gives initial value. Constructor basically when you need the scope of the task, then you describe all the value because you don't want to jam your memory. Alright? ADT is separation of logical property from the implementation. Alright, any questions?
Still need to purchase everything.
Yeah, understand. That's a fair comment. Memang kena adjust. Because banyak lecture note at one go. Okay, understand. So the lecture note you have to refer pada adalah apa? Structure, function, and array. Get ready kan? Next class kita akan guna array. I think next class. Open back your lecture note on array and pointer as well. You akan guna banyak function. Untuk English, you akan guna pointer. Next class is not English. But just open lah. Pointer. Guna open box array. Kita akan tengok sheet. Array baca. The next class. Struct. And then find operation, not yet. But you can just have a look as well. Right? But main one is function, array, pointer. Ini semua you kena buka. So, next week class and the week after. Pointer tu you akan guna banyak untuk list nanti. Sangat banyak. Alright? Okay. So that is for data structure. Okay. Fair enough if you need time to get the idea. It's understandable. Any questions regarding the lecture note you'd like to ask me or the attachment? Okay, please be mindful of the when is the quiz date, no? The date is inside the schedule, already uploaded on the clinic. Alright, I won't be reminding you lah. Because already dah second semester kan. So you should be able to jot it down inside your diary or something. Or Google Calendar lah sekarang. Alright, see your Google Calendar with your phone so that you don't forget, yeah? Alright, everyone has smartphone now. You guys all have smartphone, use your Google Calendar lah, see your phone and reminds you of your test. Last semester orang tu dah lepas tu test. Yang berlaku lagi lah, 3 mark quiz is very easy. Alright, no question, that's all for today. Please make sure you have passed the pre-requisite, ya. I'm informing you early. Jangan nanti bila you kena buang, disalahkan saya ataupun the faculty. You boleh register, memang boleh. Tapi nanti when they do housekeeping, they automatically throw you out if you haven't passed the two subject, ya. Activity and discrete test. Okay. No question, that's all for today. I'll see you guys, no lab this week. I'll see you guys next week. Okay. In the meantime, for your lab, since you tak ada lab, so this week, Wednesday ni, you buka balik you punya lecture note on IPT, turun baca. Alright, refresh back your memory. Alright. Okay. That's all from me for today. Okay, bye-bye everyone. See you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Okay, right,
Sorry,
bye-bye.
sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.